Hey, there's everybody. All right, I'm going to the shop. Hey, good morning, everybody. Yeah, if anybody ever figures that out, how to join a scheduled live stream, let me know. Because I scheduled the live stream last night to start at 11 o'clock, but then I couldn't figure out how to join, at least not from my phone. I probably could join from a computer, but they can't make it easy, huh? How's everybody doing? Where is everybody from? That's what I want to know. 5 p.m. here. I know how to do it from my PC. Yeah, I figure it's probably easy. I don't know. You would think that YouTube would figure out the phone app by now. Outside DC. I'm inside DC. Houston, Scotland, UK, Sweden. Lots of European people, huh? West Virginia, Idaho. All right, all over the states. Nice. So my plan for this hour, well, I'm down to 45 minutes at this point, so sorry about that. But it was just going to be kind of a low-key Q&A, and I'll do some demonstrations. I'm currently working on this project here is a vase, which is upside down at the moment. I just took it out of the clamps. I had it in two halves, and the two halves have been glued together now. All right, so if you have questions for me, stick them in the comments. And if I don't see it, comment it again. I don't really care if you don't spam the comments, but kind of sort of spam the comments. That's fine with me, because I might miss it. It's hard to keep up with these comments. This hat, pencil holder hat from Carolina Shoe. It's good for lefties. It's good for righties. CarolinaShoe.com. I am currently on the lathe, so let's go over there. I'm going to start doing a little work on the lathe, and I will try to answer your questions at the same time, if I can do that. Yes, light spam is good. That's what we're going for here. So for anybody who is not up to speed on Global Makerfest, that's what this live stream is for. Global Makerfest is something that's been put on by Arbortech Tools, my favorite power carving tools, the only power carving tools I have, because they're the only ones worth having. And it's an all-day live stream today and tomorrow. Do I like sanding? I do not like sanding. You would think otherwise, though, based on this current project. But yeah, this is a all-day live stream today and tomorrow. A bunch of different makers and creators. If you go to arbortechtools.com/global-makerfest, I put that link in the description, I think. So you can click down there to see the rest of the schedule, the rest of the lineup, and what else is going to be going on today. But for now, you have me from 11 to noon Eastern Standard Time, and next is Jimmy de Resta. So I don't blame you if you just go and sit on Jimmy's channel and wait for him. But something that's going on besides the live streams is there's a few companies that teamed up with Arbortech. At the bottom of that Arbortech website that's in the description, there's some deals from, let's see, I wrote them down because I knew I would forget. Peak Safety, they make the power cap. That's the respirator that you've seen me use all the time now. 5% off, Peak PJ5. Carolina Shoe, 25% off with Jackman 25. Total Boat, 15% off. Epoxies, anything they got on TotalBoat.com. Jackman 15 is the code. Error 404. So if that link doesn't work, just go to arbortechtools.com and it's in the banner, and go to that instead. IsoTunes is doing $10 off. These are the IsoTunes Pro 2.0. I wear them every day. GMF10 is the code. And Arbortech has a bunch of sales going on. I noticed a $99 turboplane deal, which is insane. I think that's the cheapest it's ever been. And then I got my own deal going on. If anybody has not seen this yet, this is the 1,000-piece Jackman pallet wood shaving puzzle. And I figure puzzles are like the hottest thing on Amazon right now. So I made a code on my website. I have these for sale. And the code is Corona for 19% off. Probably not something worth joking about, but it's kind of funny. At least a little bit funny. 19% off Corona. So if anybody wants this puzzle, use Corona and get 19% off. Jackmanworks.com. So 1,000-piece puzzle. This is what I did. The pencils, the shavings from the pencils, because I made 1,000 pencils. So that's behind that. All right, that's enough plugging. I'm gonna get to work now. Ask your questions. I'm gonna scroll through and see what I missed, which is probably a lot. But any questions, let me know about the vase or anything else. What species on the vase? Walnut and pallet wood. Pallet wood is a wood species now. Just FYI. It's the pallet wood, I don't even know. It's a mix of, geez, white oak, red oak, beech, birch, everything. Whatever you want it to be, really. Do I come up with the sponsored projects? Yes, I do. I don't think there's ever been a sponsored project that the sponsor suggested. It's all been ideas from me that I've pitched with them. Promos may vary. Yes. Some of those deals are only good for the U.S., so keep that in mind. There's different deals going on in like Canada, Australia. So check out the website. It's at least ArborTech. I know that'll update based on where you live. It's very funny. Corona. Okay, good. Go away with the puzzle. The vase is 28 inches tall. Do you still tear all your pallets apart? I do. I do. There is a video on my channel about how I do that. There's 2 videos. The earlier one is the one to watch. The second one was posted on April 1st, a couple years ago, or last year, maybe. So it's less informative, as you might expect. Askcast episode, we recorded a new one yesterday. I'm hoping to get that edited and up today. If anybody doesn't know about the Askcast, that's my podcast. Askcast podcast. It is a Q&A kind of sort of thing. Advice podcast, maker advice podcast, where we have a phone number, 818-ASKCAST. That's 818-275-2278. If you call that up, you will get our voicemail line, and you can leave a message, and we will try to answer your question and give you advice. It's not it's not a family podcast. Sometimes explicit, so just heads up on that. What's your next pallet project? My current project is a pallet project, kind of, sort of. Yeah, the sticker wall. Just bought the puzzle. Thank you, Lauren. Have fun with that. I'm still working on it. Yes, the air nailer for taking pallets apart. If anybody hasn't seen that, hold on, I'm gonna go grab it right now. The air locker. This is like one of my favorite tools besides the turbo plane. This guy here, one of my favorite obscure tools. It's the air locker denailer for all my pallets. When you pry them apart, you get all the nails sticking up. And this here, the nail fits inside this like sheath. And when you pull the trigger, it pops the nail out. There's a little piston here that pushes, and the nails just fire right out. So I set up the pallet slats over my trash can and just fire all the nails out of the pallet slats. If anybody's looking for a link to that, check any of my recent pallet wood videos, which is pretty much all of them. Go in the description, there's materials and tools list. Look in the tools list for the air locker denailer. Redacted. We should redact that whole podcast. All right, I'm going to skip to the most recent comments just so I don't miss anything. If I missed, well, I'm going to miss everything. If I missed your question, comment again. Anyone else feeling they have two field tools? I do. I probably shouldn't. I'm spoiled, but I don't have much space, so whenever I acquire a new tool, it's always a question of if I can fit it in the shop or not. Use the airlock or put something soft in the bottom of the can. Yes, those nails will bounce. They come out with some speed. Do you do YouTube and woodworking full time? If so, how did you make that transition? Yes, this is full time for me. It has been the past almost 4 years now. And the reason that I did it, I shouldn't have. I had no business going full time when I did. But my wife joined the Coast Guard and we moved. I had to quit my job. So I figured at that point, I was like, well, I'm showing some promise. I've been doing woodworking for a while since I was a teenager, and I was getting some business, and the YouTube channel was starting to get some traction, so I figured, hey, let's give this thing a shot and see if I can do it full time. I gave myself a year. I said, within this year, if I can make this work, I'll keep doing it. If not, I'll go back and get another job. I have an engineering degree, so you know it's easy to get a job, at least around the cities. If you're ever looking for something, you can get it. So I figured to give this a shot, and it worked out. So I'm still doing it 4 years later, which is insane. And it's all thanks to you guys, really. My former day job was as a construction estimator. I have an engineering degree, civil engineering degree, but I've never used it. So that was worth the price of admission. De Resta logo. I don't see it. Oh, that. He's everywhere. You can't get away from that guy. In case you haven't seen, this is an old project. This is from my first workshop down in the basement. If you've ever seen those are old videos. Emergency big enough worth pulling this guy out of there yet. But that's the little Jimmy de Resta action figure. If anybody missed out on that, he had those made and painted. And what I did is I made him into an ice pick. So the famous Jimmy de Resta ice pick, but I made a Jimmy de Resta ice pick, literally. So I drilled a hole in the bottom of his foot, and there's a steel rod in there. So if I ever need a giant ice pick, that thing's ready to go. You started woodworking because of my pallet projects, for real? That's incredible. The pallet projects are a ton of fun. I do them because people seem to enjoy them. I enjoy them because they're very unique. And I'm trying to get a view of the lathe here for you guys. They're super unique just in the visual that you end up with. And it's very achievable for other people. You know, the material is everywhere. And people are just constantly throwing away pallets. So the material is just there waiting to be used, and it's accessible to anybody. So even though my pallet projects are a little bit over the top, I figure anybody can do them, really. It doesn't take all that much. It takes some effort, but it doesn't take that many resources. Is it you who's editing my videos? Yes. I edit all my videos. Yeah, not much else to say about that. They're a lot of work. I enjoy it though, so it's not a big deal. And yeah, I use Adobe stuff, and I just learned it by doing it. So just trial and error is an amazing thing. It's a powerful thing. I have no professional training as a video editor, and it's just repetition and trial and error, and just figuring out how you do it. Has the move to the Northeast been delayed? That I don't know yet. We'll see. We are up for transfer theoretically, but who knows? We're just sitting and waiting. That's how the military is. You just sit and wait. So what everybody's experiencing right now is what the military people experience all the time. Just, You have no idea what's coming up. Like, you gotta plan a week at a time, maybe. What other times am I doing these? I'm doing one at 8 to 9 p.m. tonight, and then the same times tomorrow. So 11 to noon, and then 8 to 9. And that's Eastern Standard Time. All right, I'm gonna start playing around here on the lathe. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll keep an eye on those and try to explain what I'm doing here. If you have issues hearing me, let me know. But this is my power cap here. I'm gonna not turn it on and let it fog up a little bit, and then you'll see it turn the fan on. Look at that, it's amazing. So what this is here is just a block for when I'm turning the vase. So this is just a scrap piece of plywood I had hanging around. Plywood sucks to turn, but it's just what I had. Can you guys still hear me okay? You're hearing the fan from the respirator. Sound is good even when it's on. Awesome. Awesome. Good. It's very quiet, which is nice. Did your kitchen island doors inspire the vase? Yes and no. The kitchen island door power carving was inspired by, I forget the guy's name, I'll have to post it on Instagram. There's a guy that does vases similar to that, except his process is entirely different. He turns the wood green in very thin layers and then lets it dry. And as it dries, the wood warps and creates these waves. And when I saw that, combined with a bowl that I made last year, that got me thinking about doing it by power carving instead. So that's where that idea came from. But I'll start working on this little dude here. But this is basically just going to be a face plate for the top of the vase, just to hold it in place while I'm turning it. I mean, I need to do more lathe projects. I don't get on this thing enough. I was just realizing it when I was turning that vase, how infrequently I actually use this thing. Turning tools, these are the Woodpecker carbide tools. Really any carbide tools are fairly similar. I like these because they call them ultra shear, which basically it's just the shape of the shaft here. You can actually turn it 45 degrees. To take a little bit of a lighter pass on it just because of the shape that we got back there. I mostly use Easywood tools. Those are good too. Neither of them are sponsors of mine, so that's my unfiltered opinion. Why did you decrease the frequency of your videos? It wasn't on purpose. I just started doing bigger, more complicated projects, and by extension, that's just how it has to be. I only got so much time in the day. I edit the videos myself, so some projects like this vase started a month ago. I've been doing other things between then and now, but I probably have 2 to 3 weeks full time into that vase, and it's going to take me 3 to 4 days to edit the video. So I don't know. I wish I could put out more, but the more videos I put out, the lower the quality would be, and I don't want to do that. So it's a trade-off, but it is what it is. I'm just trying to get this thing in there now. And then I'm going to make it into a bit of a cone shape so that it'll fit into the top of the vase and stabilize it while I trim the rest of the outside. It's pretty much down to shape already, but I'm going to put it on there between centers just to tweak it a little bit. But I'm a big fan of the carbide tools. They're not necessarily the best for any application, but just to infrequency of the sharpening, or the use of sharpening, probably doesn't lazy. So I call it a frequency. That's not because you're doing lazy. But the theory is that this cone shape, this spot is very centered. That's probably good enough. I'm going to bring the vase over here and do a test fit. What have I missed? Alright, I won't talk while I am turning then. I'm going to grab the vase. It's not bad. I'm going to go a little bit smaller, just so it fits in there a little bit better. But this is the beast right here. This, I'm trying to see if I can set it down without dropping it. That'd be pretty bad. This here is sacrificial piece. This is going to ride on my steady rest while I work on this inside part here, and then at the bottom, that's a sacrificial piece there that's just holding this thing on. It's glued to the bottom ring, which I will take off when I am all done. So this will be slightly shorter once everything is said and done. Again, if I miss your questions, comment again. And anybody watching this live, I will try to answer your questions. And if you're watching this back after this is over, comment and I'll try to answer your questions there too. And anybody, I know there's some guys from Arbortech in the chat. Look for Steve from Arbortech, Troy from Arbortech. I think they're both in here. And they can answer your questions too, probably. So, guys, feel free to jump in if you want. How many chickens would it take to kill an elephant? I don't know. How do you fit a giraffe in the refrigerator? You open the door and you put the giraffe in the refrigerator. How do you fit an elephant in the refrigerator? You open the door, you take the giraffe out and put the elephant in the fridge. Still better equipped than half the nurses in the country. Isn't that true? Sad, but true. Alright, I'm going to turn this down a little bit more. That should be good enough. Doesn't have to be too pretty. It's really just gonna hold this thing in place. I'm lacking oxygen with the type of jokes. That's right. Dad jokes. I mean, my best joke, my go-to, is what's green and has wheels? Grass. I lied about the wheels. I could see the view count just dropping right now. I'm sorry about that one. Again, if you got questions, just keep putting them in the comments. I don't really care if you repeat a question. I make license plate. Yeah, Jimmy de Resta made that. I can't pull it off because it's screwed on there, but Jimmy stamped those things out of, I think, stainless steel. There's a white one and a yellow one there. This wall here, this French cleat wall, is all gifts from fans and other YouTubers. So I got my shot glass collection here, and a whole bunch of other stuff, coasters and everything. It's one of my favorite parts of the shop, just seeing all this stuff here. That's the community right there. Which project was the biggest nightmare to finish? This vase that I'm working on right now. Pretty much. It's not easy. It's a lot of sanding, and I'm not done yet. So I kind of expected that, though. But it was the challenge. I try to challenge myself in every project. Add a new feature in every project, and that's what this is. So I bring it on myself, so I can't complain, really. I do miss being able to cuddle with Pat. The border to Canada is closed, so I can't even get up there even if I wanted to. But Pat Lapp is a good buddy of mine. He's actually here with me today because the border closed. He ran down here before that happened, and he's been hiding out here in my shop. Have you seen that? Ha ha, poutine! He's French Canadian. Not that makes it any funnier. Fala Jackman, I don't know what you're saying. I'm sorry. Something por favor, please. If anybody can translate that for me. Por favor, translate it. Okay. Do you want or need torn apart pallets? What kind of wood is it? Maybe. If it's hardwood. If Bateman's parents died, how was he born? I don't know who Bateman is. I think that's a TV show. Maybe, probably. By the way, let me know if you have questions. I'm just gonna kind of keep working here on stuff, and if you want to see anything in particular, let me know, and I will show it off to you. I think tonight I got another slot, 8 to 9 o'clock, during this live stream marathon, and I think maybe I'll do a shop tour, so you can kind of ask me questions live while I walk around the shop and show stuff off. Batman? Oh, Batman. I'm distracted, can you tell? Are you done with the hammer? I'm not. I should show you guys that. That monster. That thing I started this back in October. Just for a frame of reference for anybody. And just gotten delayed for reasons. I've had other projects take priority. This is the handle of the hammer. And there's the head of the hammer right there. It's 8 feet tall from top to bottom. Made from reclaimed southern yellow pine wall studs, laminated together. And I'd say it's probably half done at this point. But I just got to finish carving it, and I want to wrap the handle in leather so it looks like the old school S-wing. This guy here. This is my model. So the finished product is going to look just like that. Why is orange your preferred color? I don't know. I just like it. I went to Syracuse, so that helps. I feel like I've been indoctrinated or brainwashed to just like orange. But I bought an orange car in high school. My first car was orange. And it all just kind of stems from that. 8 p.m. tonight. Yes, I'll be on 8 p.m. tonight, Eastern Standard Time. And tomorrow. And also, again, at 11 o'clock tomorrow. The giant boot print video. Forgot you made that. Yeah. That was a fun one. I feel like that didn't get enough views as it deserved. But I enjoyed it. The meaning behind it, I don't know if many people got it, but I made that. The carving, this big panel, like 3 feet by 4 feet, laminated white oak, is this reclaimed white oak horse fencing that I cleaned up and laminated together. And then once I was done with the carving, I cut it up into a grid. So it was 9 pieces, 3 by 3. And then we did a giveaway, me, Arbortech, and Carolina, and sent those out across the states to 9 different people. So it was just kind of a, the meaning behind the maker community, just being a group of the same people in different places, kind of, sort of, if that makes any sense. Where do you get this at? CarolinaShoe.com. It's a place where I get my work boots pencil holder. This thing is brand new. So CarolinaShoe.com is the place to get it. Right-handed and left-handed people can use it. So it's equal opportunity. My first car was a Honda Element. I just sold it last year. It's the best car that's ever been made, but they stopped making them, and it just got, it was too much of a maintenance headache, because the thing was, I don't know, 12, 13 years old or something like that. Had a lot of miles on it. I rode that thing rough. If you saw, I always posted photos when I had good loads of lumber on top of that thing, and if you ever saw that, you'll know why that thing was ridden so rough. How do you pronounce Vase? Vase. There you go. Are hardwood pallets common in DC? I only find pine ones. Yes and no. You gotta beat the right places. The places that carry heavy stuff tend to have hardwood pallets. I pick through the piles, so they're definitely not all hardwood. I'd say it's, I don't know, maybe a third of them are, and then 2/3 I just leave behind because they're not worth it to me. But I always pick through the pile whenever I see one and grab the hardwood ones and then stockpile them. But are hardwood pallets common in DC? No, because I take them all. So yes and no. Brilliant hat. Do they make any other color than faded gray? They don't. This one's dirty. So go to the website to get a better view of the color of it. But they make these custom. These are just... All right. I lost you guys for a second there. I am back. But yeah, I was talking about the hat. This is custom made for Carolina. These are just their hats. So completely custom made. So it's just this one color. At least for now. If they're popular enough, maybe they will make others. Do I have permission when you look or just take them? Yes, always ask for permission when you take pallets, because they are technically owned by the businesses that have them. Sometimes they reuse them. A lot of times they do. And yeah, I mean, there's a store locally that I just have like blanket permission if I ever see any pallets, I can take them because they toss them all. If you ever see any of the colored ones, the blue or the red ones, those are owned by Chep or the other pallet company. They're like nationwide companies, at least in the States. These nationwide pallet companies. And if you take one, you are technically stealing from Chep pallets. So don't do that. Check out my pallet stuff. That's most of my projects, honestly. Are they Sway Carolina compliant? I don't know. I assume this hat's vegan. If anybody's wondering, I think the Sway Carolina, they were on sale yesterday. They might still be. But if anybody is looking for a alternative leather boot, so a leather boot that's not made from leather, carolinashoe.com has some of those. And they are called the Sway Carolina boots. And they are remarkably tough, surprisingly tough for what they are. I don't know exactly what the material is, but it looks just like leather and it wears just like leather. But they were half off yesterday, which may be over by now. But I would say check carolinashoe.com, check their Instagram feed, and see if they've updated that. Because that might have just been a limited time thing. Because they're doing sales. Because all the retail stores are closed, they're struggling a bit. I mean, everybody's struggling, really. But they're trying to boost their online sales just to keep things running there. I know a lot of the factory's closed. Hopefully those people will get back to work soon. But I think for now they've been furloughed for the time being. So any support you can give, if you can give support, is appreciated. It is 11:48 Washington, D.C. time. That is right. What's the best way to process pallet wood without workshop hardware? I'm assuming you mean like the tool set that I have, which definitely makes things easier. Man, this is tricky. Planing down the pallets gives you a lot more options. So if you have just a thickness planer, just that one tool, what that adds to your arsenal is insane. Wow, this thing is nuts. This is the first time I've had this mounted on the lathe in one piece. Do you ever use palm or coconut wood? I don't believe so, unless it's in a pallet. I've gotten some kind of palm-looking woods before, but it's just kind of by chance what I get. Some of the best ones I've gotten are, I think, eucalyptus and Kamaru, which I'm saving for a project that I'm hoping to do this summer. If everything goes as planned, which not much is going as planned at the moment. But hopefully that will happen. Special project I've been wanting to do for a while now. I'm just trying to get this thing centered. Suede boots, brown synthetic leather. And they are still on sale on the site. Awesome. Awesome. Suede Carolina are still on sale. Am I filling the gaps in the edge of the vase with epoxy? No. Why does everybody want to do that? Everybody wants to fill everything with epoxy. I get it, but no. That's not the vision with this project, at least. But Total Boat is partnering on this global Makerfest, so I shouldn't talk them bad. Plus, I love them anyway. But there's, I think Jackman 15 will get you 15% off any Total Boat epoxy if you guys are looking for that kind of thing. Alright, that's pretty close. I think that might be close enough for me. never close enough. What am I saying? All right, I'm locking that in. Committed. All right, we got about 6 or 7 more minutes. So, let me know if you have any questions. Let me know what you want to see in my live stream tonight. I'm open to ideas. Maybe a project that I can do in an hour. I'm going to try to get somebody to feed me questions. So just kind of put a bug in my ear to answer questions while I am live streaming, so I don't miss anything, which happens pretty regularly, as you guys have seen. I'm new to this whole live stream thing, so I'm learning along with you guys. So if there's any questions you guys have been asking me while I was working on the lathe, ask them again. A little bit of light spamming in the comments is okay. I won't judge you. Fred, what's going on? Regular boot is $165, safety toe is $199. Is that for the Suede Carolina? Because that's not the sale price. If so, I don't think. That seems pricey. Although those are made in America, so they are just, by their nature, more expensive. Because that's how things work. And that's made in Carolina's factory in Pennsylvania. Can you do more live streams? This is great to see your process. Sure. This is brand new to me, so I'm open to do this again. I'm gonna be doing another one again. I'm gonna repeat myself a lot because I figure people are bouncing in and out. So sorry for the people that have been here the whole time, but thank you for being committed to this. But I'm on again at 8 o'clock tonight, 8 to 9 o'clock. Global Makerfest is a bunch of different creative people streaming throughout today and tomorrow. So all day Friday and Saturday. I'm on again at 8 Eastern time. And then again tomorrow, 11 a.m. and then 8 p.m. for 1 hour slots. What project am I the most proud of? That's a tough one. I don't know. I mean, the giant screwdriver, maybe, just because that was so different. It was very little woodworking involved. I'm gonna go grab it. Hold on a second. But in case anybody hasn't seen this, it's a video on my channel if you want to see the build details behind this beast. 4x scale Craftsman screwdriver. It's made out of epoxy resin and steel. My buddy Zach from ZH Fabrications made this steel shank, shaft, whatever you want to call it. And then the handle I made out of epoxy resin. And the process, in case you didn't see the video, is I made a mold out of wood, and then I made a silicone mold, and then I spun that on the lathe, filled it with epoxy that was enough for a 1/2 inch layer, and then I spun that up on the lathe while it cured. So the layers on this thing are actually rings working in from the outside. And that was to keep it from overheating, because epoxy overheats if you pour it too thick, and also to keep the layers less visible. So if I clean off the dust here, you can see layers are almost invisible, versus if I poured it in layers this way, you'd be able to see them pretty easily. How much peanut butter do you have in the stockpile of your house? Enough to get through this pandemic. Those peanut butter jars, I've been collecting those for years. It looks excessive, probably because it is excessive, but still. Like since college, at college it was like 4 big dudes just like go through peanut butter like you wouldn't imagine. I'd be saving those peanut butter jars every time that it got empty. With this vision here, and I'm constantly collecting more. How many stickers are on your wall/tool? All of my Maker stickers, my Maker collection of stickers are on my door here, and on my paint storage cabinet here, and they're actually all magnets. I might have a fear of commitment. I might not, but that's what that's all about. So that way I can move them around if I want to. But if you do want to trade stickers, I have my stickers on my website. They're like a couple bucks. That just covers the cost of shipping and the envelope and all that stuff. I used to send them out for free, but that was adding up to like a significant amount. So if you want to swap stickers, order a sticker on my website, and then I will include my address with the envelope with the sticker, and you can send one back to me, and I'll put it up here. All right, I think we got like 1 minute left. The clock is counting down. What project am I least proud of? Jeez, I don't know. Probably a project that's not in one piece anymore. I'm not sure what that is, though. I'll be back tonight, too. Awesome. Yes, 8 o'clock. I'll see you then. How many pallets do I have stocked up? I probably at least have a couple dozen. I don't have any storage space here, pretty much, except my lumber racks up here on the wall. They line this side of my shop, and behind the camera, that side of the shop, up along the ceiling. And otherwise, I lack storage. This is a one-car garage, so there's not much space in here. And that's all I'm working with. So the pallets, I actually have a space where I have a utility trailer. It's like a little 5x8 utility trailer. And I have to store that off-site because of the rules here. I live in government housing on a military base, and they don't allow me to have a trailer parked outside. So I have a space that I rent where campers are parked. And because I rent the space, I figure I have ownership of that entire space, and I have pallets stored over there. Fun fact, it's not very fun. The screwdriver is like 20 pounds. The metal and the epoxy are about 10 pounds a piece. Am I planning to go to Maker Central later this year? No, that's been rescheduled to August, and that conflicts with, I have some big stuff coming this summer that I'm not talking about yet, but that'll be revealed soon. You could probably put the pieces together if you think about it hard enough. What base are you stationed at? We're in DC. That's all you need to know. My wife's in the Coast Guard. Is Arbortech going to offer any package deals like they do at the shows? I don't know if they have a package deal. They usually have a mega bundle, which includes all the tools and like a turbo bundle. But on their website, arbortechtools.com, they do have special deals going on right now during the Global Makerfest. It is now noon, which means that Jimmy de Resta has started streaming, so you definitely don't want to watch me anymore. But I'm going to do some last minute plugs. I will be back at 8 o'clock tonight. All right? I'm going to streamline this a little bit better. I'll probably do another Q&A and maybe a shop tour. How does that sound? Let's do a shop tour tonight, 8 o'clock. And I'll walk around. You can ask me questions while I walk around. And I'll be able to keep an eye on the chat better. If I work on the Vase, I'll get an earworm in my ear, somebody that's asking me the questions from... They do have the Mega Bundle event available. Awesome. So you can get the Mega Bundle. So you can get show pricing on that or similar to show pricing. Even the turbo plane is $99. That's better than show pricing. So if you've been looking for a turbo plane, now is the time to snag it. All right, so last minute plugs, and then I'm going to sign off and send you guys over to Jimmy de Resta's channel. Global Makerfest is going on today and tomorrow. All day live streams, Friday and Saturday. We're going around the world, all the way to Australia. There might be somebody in the UK that's participating, I think, somebody in Canada, and then across the States, of course. So it's going kind of all night and all day. So I'm plugging my jigsaw puzzle. There's a bunch of companies supporting this. I'm not getting paid for this. I'm just doing this just for the fun of it, just because I figured people would look for something to do and would enjoy this. So I'm just doing this because I can. But I'm plugging this puzzle here, which is currently 19% off with coupon code CORONA at jackmanworks.com. If you go to jackmanworks.com/shop, you'll see it in there. This is a 1,000-piece puzzle. Puzzles are really hot right now for obvious reasons. So if you want something to do, if you're looking for something to do, go check this out on my website, and you can order it. That's it. Still working on yours. Yeah, I'm still working on mine, too. It's a 1,000-piece puzzle from the pencils that I made that I'm still working on. I made 1,000 pencils, and these are the shavings from that. So that's the connection there. Let's see. Peak Safety. 5% off with coupon code PaulPJ5. That's the respirator that you always see me using with the fans on the front. Carolina Shoes offering 25% off with Jackman 25. That goes along with my trebuchet video that I just released last week. If you haven't seen that, go watch that. Total about 50% off with Jackman 15. IsoTunes is also supporting this with coupon code GMF10, get you $10 off. These are the IsoTunes Pro 2.0, which I wear every day in the shop. And of course, Arbortech Tools, last but not least, is offering a bunch of deals on their website. So if you go to arbortechtools.com, click on the Global Makerfest banner, and that will link you to where all the deals are happening. All right. Thank you guys for showing up. I am running late. Jimmy de Resta is next. Go to his channel. If you don't know Jimmy de Resta, I've lost some respect for you, but go and learn who Jimmy is right now. All right. I'm going to go over there too. I'm going to hang out in the chat. So I will see you guys there. Ask him about the giant knife, his razor blade. His razor blade's in the back. So somebody go and ask Jimmy about the giant utility knife, and you'll get some brownie points from me. All right. Thank you. I'll be back at 8 o'clock tonight. I'll see you guys then. Thanks for showing up, and get your questions ready for 8 o'clock. Come on, guys.